How about the biggest games of the year to be on the lookout for? We're talking biggest games with the largest implications. I think that there's probably a list of like 8 to 10 biggest games, and I think the first one is obviously Texas at Ohio State week 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the two biggest ones for me are both week 1.
Yeah,
between
fair.
Texas, Ohio State at noon, which is a disgrace, by the way, and then LSU, Clemson at 7:30. Like, those are the two games that are going to set the tone for so many of these big name programs. I mean, the SEC could face a disaster in week 1 if Texas loses to Ohio State and LSU loses to Clemson, which I think is going to happen. I think both of those teams are going to be fine. Don't get me wrong, but I will take the home team in both of those games. Don't even get me started if Alabama loses to Florida State. That would be awful.
Not going to happen.
But in the non-conference, that's about as big as it gets. Obviously, Notre Dame plays Miami as well. I think that's the Sunday, or maybe it's on Labor Day.
Yeah, I have that as I have that as one of the biggest games too, because of how much we're going to learn mostly about Miami. We know Notre Dame's going to be good. We're going to learn a lot about Miami.
Yeah, and Miami wins that game. A playoff spot would be theirs to lose. I just don't think that they're going to get it done. So as far as the non-conference goes, that's what I would give it to. I think the game of the year in the Big Ten is, like I said, Penn State at Ohio State. There's a chance that's a 1v2. I think it was like 3v4 last year. Like, it's going to be a massive game. That's going to be
beautiful. Nice and chilly. And chilly.
Yeah, the
give me a sweater.
The Bucknuts will definitely have some fluids down their pipes to stay warm for sure.
Hot
in the
chocolate.
parking lot. Yeah, definitely. With just chocolate in it. The SEC's got $1 trillion, right? Texas plays Georgia plays Alabama, and Florida plays LSU, and LSU plays Texas. Like, it's a round robin. Every week in the SEC is going to be must-see TV. So I couldn't give you one in particular. And then we talked about it last week, I think, in the ACC. You definitely look at Clemson, Georgia Tech as a game that could set the tone for us.
That's early, like week Georgia 3, Tech. The 13th of September.
Again, if Georgia Tech finds a way to win that game, like we were talking about last week, that could put them in the playoff conversation early as well. So the bright side of expansion is the fact that every week we've got something nuts.
Yes.
And so, like, every week there's going to be a big game with big implications. It's going to be awesome.
If I'm going to name 2 in the SEC, and there's obvious ones, so I'm going to get out of the weeds a little bit. Florida at LSU. Florida wins that game. I think we're talking about Florida the way we've just been talking about LSU. I think
that's true.
Nussmeier and Lagway like flip spots, and then all of a sudden Florida's in the driver's seat to pop because they're not going to play Alabama. Mm-hmm. So they're in a situation where they could go play Texas in the, well, for me, Texas, for you, Georgia, I guess, in the SEC championship game. And, maybe we're talking about them being a 5-6 seed rather than missing the playoff. So a lot on the line for Florida when they go to Death Valley and play LSU. That's week 3. I love that we're going to learn things pretty early.
Instantly.
Which is a lot of fun. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the other one in the SEC that I had, Alabama at South Carolina. I look at these almost as playoff eliminators. South Carolina loses, maybe they're done. Florida loses to LSU, maybe they're done. That's kind of how I view those. And then I'll raise you one more. It's the only one we didn't mention yet. Big 12 winners, I think, going to the Big 12 championship game and probably going to win the Big 12. I have my Big 12 championship game being Arizona State and Texas Tech. But when Arizona State goes to Iowa State in Ames on November 1st, it's late in the year. Whoever wins that is winning the Big 12. I think if Iowa State wins that game, they'll win the Big 12 and go to the playoff. That's the game of the year in the Big 12, in my opinion, because you don't have a Texas Tech Iowa State and you don't have a Texas Tech Arizona State. You have an Arizona State Baylor. You have some games, but I think those are your top 3 in the conference. And I think when Arizona State and Iowa State meet, there's your winner of the conference.
And Arizona State embarrassed Iowa State in the title game last year. Like, that's going to be on replay in that locker room the whole week. And I like Iowa State. I don't know that they're going to win in week 0. I can't wait to watch that game, by the way, against K-State in Dublin.
Yes, let's go.
But
we get conference football off the rip.
Top 25 matchup. Off rip. First game of the season is going to be awesome.
2 great quarterbacks.
Yeah, Rocco Beck's a dog. I think it's like Ames magic never fails. It might be tricky for Iowa State. It will definitely be a difficult road trip for Arizona State. So I think it's interesting you circle that because, like, either way it goes, you wouldn't be surprised.
No. I just think it's the game of the year in the Big 12.
I agree.